When money seems scarce and financial struggles feel endless, it's easy to lose hope. But what if I told you that 2025 could be your turning point? That this could be the moment when everything begins to change. All it takes is belief. Padre Pio, one of the greatest saints in history, left us with a powerful secret that has the potential to transform your financial and spiritual life. Just 2 simple words hold immense power to open doors and create miracles. As 2025 unfolds, with faith, you can take the first step toward a life of prosperity. Want to know what that secret is? Keep reading to discover how these words can be the key to your future. Words have incredible power, often underestimated, especially when spoken with faith. Padre Pio, with his deep connection to God, understood that speaking with conviction could shape the reality around us. He taught that when we speak words with true belief, we're not just expressing a desire but releasing an energy that can change circumstances, even those as daunting as financial difficulties. He reminded us that our words can be a direct reflection of our faith in God. When faith is infused into our words, they take on a power that goes beyond mere sound. Have you ever noticed how a well-delivered sermon can deeply move people? It's not just the content but the strength of the speaker's faith. This is something you can apply to your own life. When facing financial challenges, for example, begin to declare confidently, "I trust in you, Lord." By doing this, you're not only affirming your faith but also inviting divine intervention into your situation. Padre Pio believed that true transformation begins when we speak the right words with a heart full of faith. Instead of grumbling about difficulties or lamenting your situation, why not transform your days with words of faith? Repeating, "I trust in you," can be the first step toward real change. And this goes far beyond resolving financial problems. It's about opening doors to prosperity in all aspects of your life, starting with your spirituality. Padre Pio always emphasized that faith in the words we speak is essential for them to hold true power. It's not enough to simply say the words. You must deeply believe in what you're declaring. This faith, firmly rooted in the heart, can move mountains and transform situations that seem impossible. He believed that words spoken with conviction, especially during times of crisis or financial struggles, were not just empty sounds but powerful vehicles for inviting divine intervention and tangible changes in the lives of those who spoke them. Picture yourself in a moment of distress, perhaps grappling with financial challenges. Instead of succumbing to despair or blaming the world, you begin to declare with faith, "I trust in you, Lord." Something begins to shift. Your perspective changes, and that alone is powerful. When we speak with faith, we acknowledge God's sovereignty over every aspect of our lives, including the most challenging ones, like finances. And when faith is genuine, it begins to bear fruit. Prayer becomes more than a request, it's a declaration of unwavering trust. Faith in our words is the key Padre Pio left us to unlock God's blessings. It's not just a memorized phrase but an invitation for divine action, a call for God to intervene and guide your life. When you apply this daily, you'll notice subtle yet powerful changes. Begin to see your faith not just as something you feel but as something you speak and act upon. "I trust in you" can become your daily prayer, a constant reminder that God is in control and that no difficulty is insurmountable with Him. Padre Pio taught that true prosperity isn't limited to material wealth. He believed that genuine prosperity comes from unshakable faith in God and the trust that He will provide in all areas of life. Spiritual and material prosperity are deeply connected. When we align ourselves with God's will, living in harmony with biblical teachings, our lives become more abundant, not just financially, but in every way. True wealth comes from a grateful heart, willing to trust God in every circumstance. Faith, as Padre Pio knew, is the foundation upon which we build our financial lives. When we cultivate a strong spiritual connection, our perspective on what's necessary for a fulfilling life changes. This doesn't mean ignoring the importance of material needs, but understanding that they are blessings from God, not ends in themselves. Often, our material prosperity is an extension of the spiritual prosperity we nurture. When we live according to Christ's principles of service, gratitude, and trust, material blessings naturally follow. Instead of focusing solely on improving your financial situation immediately, start working on your spiritual prosperity. Through prayers of praise, worship, and Bible study, you're creating an environment conducive to material prosperity as well. By acknowledging that true wealth comes from God and trusting in Him, abundance begins to flow into your life in surprising ways, touching not only your finances but also your soul. The stories of people who have experienced transformation through faith are powerful testimonies of how words and trust in God can change lives. Maria, for example, faced a deep financial crisis. She was drowning in debt, unsure how she would keep her home and provide for her children. But after hearing Padre Pio's teachings and, with faith, declaring daily, "I trust in you, Lord," something extraordinary happened. Within months, Maria received an unexpected job offer with a salary that not only covered her needs but also allowed her to help others. Her faith in Padre Pio's words transformed her reality. Roberto also experienced a financial miracle through trust in God. Like many, he struggled with the weight of a difficult work situation, unsure how to break free from stagnation. Yet, with faith, he began to declare trust in God, and doors he hadn't anticipated began to open. These stories remind us that with faith-filled words, transformation is possible, even in the face of the most daunting challenges. After praying and following Padre Pio's advice, Roberto decided to repeat the words, "I trust in you," every day while taking small actions guided by his heart. Over time, opportunities for growth began to appear, and his financial situation turned around completely. Roberto not only found a new job, but also discovered the peace that only genuine faith can bring. Zhang, a young man barely making ends meet, also experienced a life transformation. He was on a journey of faith, searching for deeper meaning in his life. By following Padre Pio's example and placing complete trust in God, Zhang began to see a series of changes in his life. It wasn't an overnight transformation, but he realized the key was maintaining a consistent attitude of trust, even in the face of financial challenges. The impact was profound, as he saw doors open where there had once been only obstacles. Padre Pio left us with a powerful legacy in a simple phrase, "I trust in you." These words, seemingly small, hold immeasurable transformative power. When spoken with true faith, they serve as a declaration of absolute trust in God. For Padre Pio, these words were more than a prayer or a mantra. They were an invitation for God to act directly in the lives of those who proclaim them. By saying them, a person hands over their fears, worries, and problems to God, allowing Him to work in ways they could never imagine. By beginning to use the words, "I trust in you," you create a space in your life where doubt cannot enter. These words, though simple, have the power to calm the mind and open the heart to receive divine intervention. When you say, "I trust in you," you're not just affirming your faith, you're taking active steps to surrender to God's will. As Padre Pio taught, there's no room for uncertainty in this declaration. You're proclaiming, with all your being, that you believe God is in control. You can begin using these words every day, during moments of prayer or whenever you feel anxious or lost. Instead of worrying about the future, confidently affirm, "I trust in you, Lord." This simple act of faith can start to generate an inner peace you may have never experienced before. By doing this, you're opening the door for God's blessings to flow abundantly into your life, without limitations. Gratitude is one of the most powerful pillars of the Christian life, especially when it comes to receiving God's blessings. Padre Pio taught that gratitude shouldn't just be a response to receiving something but a continuous attitude in our hearts, particularly when we're waiting for something from God. He believed that practicing gratitude, even before seeing results, was a way of expressing our faith that God is always at work in our lives, even when we can't see it. When we are grateful, we acknowledge that God, in His infinite wisdom, knows exactly what we need, even before we ask. Gratitude not only strengthens our faith, but also creates an environment that welcomes blessings. Imagine facing financial difficulties, but instead of focusing on what's lacking, you begin to give thanks for everything you already have, your health, your family, God's protection. This shift in attitude can be a turning point. Padre Pio understood that true prosperity begins with a grateful heart. Practicing gratitude, even before the solution arrives, is an act of faith that invites divine intervention, transforming even the greatest challenges. Incorporating gratitude into your daily routine, even in moments of distress, brings peace and confidence. By starting your day with a simple, "Thank you, Lord," you're creating a connection with God, and He will undoubtedly honor your trust. This isn't forced gratitude, but genuine, heartfelt appreciation. The more you commit to this habit, the more abundance you'll see manifest in your life. This is not just a theory but a spiritual principle that has changed lives worldwide. Faith in times of adversity is a fundamental test for every Christian. Padre Pio taught that when we face difficulties, it's in those moments that our faith must be strongest. In the midst of financial crises, illness, or loss, the true follower of Christ doesn't lose hope but draws even closer to God. Faith doesn't mean life will always be easy, but it assures us that, even in hardships, God is with us, guiding us and offering the strength we need to overcome obstacles. Padre Pio believed that through adversity, our spirituality could be strengthened and our connection with God deepened. When everything seems to be falling apart, faith becomes the anchor that keeps us steady. Instead of succumbing to fear or despair, we can remember Padre Pio's words and countless testimonies of faith that show how, even in the worst situations, trust in God changes everything. Imagine someone facing the loss of a job or a financial crisis choosing to believe that God will provide, even when the solution isn't clear. This is the kind of faith Padre Pio taught, unshakable faith that endures even in the most challenging moments. Faith, when exercised during difficult times, has the power to open doors and transform impossible situations. It's not about denying pain or difficulty, but knowing that when we place our trust in God, He will work for our good, even if the path isn't immediately clear. When you maintain faith during adversity, you allow God to use you for a greater purpose, even if you can't fully understand the process. It's in this trust that miracles happen and doors open. Creating a daily ritual of trust and gratitude is a powerful practice that can profoundly transform your life. Padre Pio teaches us that we should seek God every day, not just in times of need, but also in times of peace. A daily prayer ritual, where phrases of trust like, "I trust in you, Lord," and expressions of gratitude such as, "Thank you, Lord, for your providence," are repeated, is a powerful way to strengthen our relationship with God and invite Him to act in our lives. Consistency is the key. The more you repeat these affirmations with faith, the deeper they take root in your heart. This daily practice builds a solid foundation of faith, where trust in God becomes instinctive, even in the face of challenges. Begin your day with a simple prayer, thanking God for your blessings and declaring your trust in Him. If financial concerns weigh on you, incorporate a specific prayer. "Lord, I trust you will provide what I need, and I thank you for all you have already done." Through repetition, these moments of connection with God not only bring peace but also open doors to divine intervention. As you integrate this daily ritual into your routine, you'll notice a shift in your perspective on life's challenges. Instead of being overwhelmed by fear or doubt, you'll find yourself more serene and confident, anchored in the assurance that God is in control. As Padre Pio taught, this practice of trust and gratitude not only prepares us for miracles but aligns us with the divine prosperity God desires to pour out upon us. It's more than just a habit, it's a way of living, surrendering, and trusting. A deep spiritual connection with God is the foundation upon which all other blessings are built. Padre Pio understood that true transformation happens when we dedicate ourselves to cultivating this intimate relationship with the Lord through moments of silence and prayer. He taught that in the noise of the world, it is essential to seek solitude, where our souls can fully open to the divine presence. By creating daily spaces for prayer and reflection, we strengthen our trust in God and allow Him to reveal Himself more clearly in our lives. One simple yet profoundly effective practice is setting aside daily time to pray in silence, without haste, simply listening and feeling God's presence. During this time, instead of asking for something, focus on giving thanks, trusting, and letting God's peace fill your heart. Padre Pio emphasized that silence is a powerful way to hear God's voice, and when we allow ourselves to rest in His presence, we are transformed. Start with just 10 minutes a day, and the impact of this habit will grow immeasurably over time. By seeking moments of silence, you not only deepen your faith, but also create an environment for blessings to manifest in your life. Spiritual connection isn't something reserved for Sundays. It's something to be cultivated every day. In the quiet of prayer and in contemplating God's goodness, you'll discover a new level of trust and gratitude. This process, as simple as it is powerful, brings us closer to God, allowing His hand of providence to guide every area of our lives, from health to finances. Padre Pio constantly reminded us that total surrender to God is essential to experiencing true peace and prosperity. The concept of surrendering, completely yielding to divine will, is one of the most profound teachings he left us. He believed that by fully trusting in God's plan for our lives, even when we don't understand or see an immediate solution, we allow Him to guide us perfectly. This act of faith is a release of control, an invitation for God to take the reins of our lives and lead us without resistance. Surrender doesn't mean inaction or passivity. It's trusting that God, in His infinite wisdom, knows what is best for us. Often, financial difficulties or life's obstacles are hidden opportunities where God is working to shape us and prepare us for something greater. By placing our concerns in God's hands, we declare, "I trust in your plan, Lord, even when I cannot see the way." This trust opens doors to miracles and solutions beyond our imagination. Padre Pio also taught that surrendering our worries to God allows us to rest in His peace. Instead of living anxiously about the future or how financial problems will be solved, we can simply rest in the certainty that God has a perfect plan for our lives. This trust, requiring courage and faith, not only brings serenity but also invites divine action into every area of our lives. True prosperity begins the moment we decide, with faith, to let God take control.